We're with Coach Bradley Del Pivito, the Demons head football coach, who is looking forward to Saturday's 6 o'clock non-conference game against Mississippi Valley in Turpin Stadium, and looking back at the very competitive loss at Nevada this past weekend. Coach Pivito, does that game, you can cite statistics all day long and show the improvement of the offense, but what emotionally does that performance, that kind of competition do for your football team going forward?
Well, I was very proud of our football team. I thought we played extremely hard as a team. As far as the emotion of the game and what we take out of it, you know, we all three phases feed off each other, and we win, lose as a team, period. And I feel like the offense has fed off the defense the first 2 weeks, and we fed off the offense this week. I mean, what a great showing by them. Played great across the board, a lot of big plays, ran and threw the ball extremely well. But right now, what we know as a football team is that when we put all three phases together and we play together as a team, we can be a very, very good football team.
Brad Henderson had a spectacular day as your quarterback. He was the Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Week, may well be the Louisiana Player of the Week, but had one of the more remarkable games the quarterback's ever had here. How crucial was that to have that happen for Brad?
Well, it was crucial. I mean, you know, it's never life or death, one game. But, you know, Brad had struggled the first 2 games, and just call that like it is. And he knew it, we knew it. Nobody was panicking, nobody was pointing a finger. But he hadn't played up to his expectation or ours. And the fact that he stepped up and finally put a complete game together is not only huge for the team, but it's huge for Brad. It's great for our team's confidence. Again, we all phases feed off each other, but I think more importantly, it was great for Brad's confidence. And you know, he's got that behind him. He's had that breakout game, and now it's time to go to work and let's win a lot of football games.
Used a lot of players with the ball in their hands on Saturday, while his production was significant, he was far from the only contributor. Talk about the overall balance of the offense.
Well, you know, it was a very balanced game, run to pass, and that's really how we want. We want to be a balanced attacking football team. But the thing that we were able to do is get the ball in a lot of people's hands, running backs, receivers, tight ends. And when you do that, I mean, you're a tougher team to defend. You know, if you're one-dimensional, whether it's the throwing game or the running game, you know, teams can get a beat on you. But, you know, we spread around. A guy that I was really, really impressed with was Louis Oye. You know, Louis has been beat up, you know, really since the Sam Houston game 2 years ago, and this game reminded me of the old Louis. You know, he's back, he's going and getting balls, one-handed catches, two-handed catches, in traffic, out of traffic. I mean, he stepped up and played like we knew he could play, and he's finally got himself healthy. You know, another guy that continues to shine is Daniel Taylor. You know, he's a guy that, if you look at his production when the ball's been in his hand, to only have played, you know, in 2 games now is pretty incredible. But I thought all our backs ran hard. We caught the ball well. You know, and the same thing goes at receiver. I mean, I think we had 7 or 8 different receivers catch the ball, and we had a lot of big catches in there. So, you know, when you're spreading the ball around and you're getting the ball to your tight ends, to your running backs, you know, it makes you a very versatile offense, and you know, a little tougher to defend than if you're one-dimensional. So I'm very proud of that. And we're looking forward to getting better each and every week, but just really proud of our offense this week and the way we're able to move the ball around.
Let's talk about what's coming ahead Saturday against Mississippi Valley. You have had the opportunity to look at tape, and this is a team that had a shutout win in its last game. So taking that kind of defense against your offense is an obvious matchup. But what about playing Valley and the Delta Devils, and what kind of matchup do we see overall Saturday in Turpin Stadium? Well,
I think anytime you play a team at the SWAC conference, it's a very well-coached conference. They have great players. And this team is no different. You know, you can see them from last year to this year. They've got so much better. They're a much improved football team. They had a big win last Thursday night down at Southern, which we all know how tough that is to do, especially to shut a team like that out. So we got a work cut out for us. This is a very good football team, a talented team, a well-coached team coming to Turpin Stadium, and we got to be ready to play. There's no doubt about it. I mean, this is one where we're not looking any more ahead than the game this week against Mississippi Valley.
You just led into the next question, which is the Demons open Southland Conference play a week from now, September 29 at McNeese, a big rivalry. Not asking the question about looking ahead, but does that add intensity, a little ratchet up the notch of this game a little bit, knowing that it's the last non-conference game and next week you play for keeps?
Well, you know, each and every week's the most important game. And we're honestly, I told the team this, we're not looking any further ahead than Mississippi Valley. And they're a very good football team. We got to be ready to go. We got a lot of work to do, a lot of improvement to do this week. And we want to make sure we focus in and win this game. But the fact that we do start conference in a week, you know, the closer you get, you know, the better you want your team to become and play. And you know, you want to peak at the right time in football. I mean, like we said at the first game, we weren't ready to peak. You don't want to peak after the first game. I mean, I've watched our team in all three phases get better each and every week. Well, what makes this game so important, it's the fourth game. It is a game right before conference, and we want to take another step. You know, we actually said the old saying, have a lot of improvement between your first and second game. Well, I thought we had a lot of improvement between our second and third game. Now, to take it one step farther, let's have that same improvement between game 3 and 4. And, you know, that would be huge, you know, to get a win against a very good team and then, you know, be 2-2 going into conference play.
All right, one element of this game that makes it pretty unique in college football and college athletics, the NSU Demons against the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils. Pitchforks are going to be at a premium. What going to be a hell of a matchup?
Well, I think it is. I mean, like I said, Demons and Devils, I mean, close. And I think it's two closely matched teams. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I got a lot of respect for them. I mean, this is a good football team coming into our stadium, and we got to defend our home turf. But we got to be ready to play because this game will be a lot like the Monticello game. They're going to come in here, and it's an out-of-conference opponent. It's an opponent that, again, very well coached, very good players, very talented, got great schemes in all three phases. I mean, we have to bring our A game this week to win this football game.
We're with senior safety Jamal White. The Demons 1-2 on the season, coming home to play Mississippi Valley State Saturday night in Turpin Stadium. First, let's look back, however, at last week's game at Nevada. The Demons had a very competitive game against a perennial bowl contender. And what does the team bring home from Reno in terms of confidence and lessons learned?
Going back to that game, I'm really proud of our team from the way they played, and the offense was clicking. It's just the defense got to make more plays, you know. But it happens. Sometimes the offense score more points, and you know, we just got to have each other backs from now on and finish.
The offense had struggled the first two games. The defense felt a lot of pressure. In that context, how helpful is it to you guys mentally, emotionally, to see the offense have one of the best offensive games we've ever had?
Man, it's just now it's just knowing that our offense, that we know what our offense can do, so we expect that from them now. You know, from them not scoring as much points in the last game, from them putting up 34 points against a bowl contender team, I feel really confident about our offense. So now, this week we're gonna get on the defense every day about picking it up. Now that I know that offense can handle their business on the field.
Defensively, in the first half, you guys held them to 10 points until the last series of the half, and then after that, Nevada really found some things they were able to take advantage of. Mm-hmm. What was the change for the defense in containing them in the first half, except for that last series, and then how Nevada was able to bust loose?
It's just finishing. We just got to learn how to finish, and that, you know, the air up there is real hard to breathe, and we're tired, fatigued, but we had good backups to come in the game. It's just we just got to learn how to finish. We got to work on finishing.
What are the things from a technical standpoint the football defense needs to do better this week against Mississippi Valley?
I watched Mississippi Valley have a real nice running back. They came on TV when they played Southern. We just got to fight. You know, it's a good game for us. You know, a game before a conference to try to get a win. So we just got to go play like it's the next game.
Are you finding yourself now realizing this will be the last non-conference game and the Southland Conference season begins in 2 weeks?
Yes, I am aware that I just take it one game at a time. one game at a time.
Valley, a team that we've not played before. We're 12-10 all time against the SWAC, won 7 of our last 8. Does any of that make a difference in this game, or is it just about going out and playing Saturday night at 6 in Turpin Stadium against another football team?
I'm really excited about playing a SWAC school. I like playing, SWAC schools. From when we played Grambling in my freshman year, we didn't beat Grambling, so I feel like it's like revenge on the SWAC team that we go out and do what we have to do.
We're with senior running back Sidney Riley, the Demons having a close call out in Nevada and having had an offensive eruption, and now they're coming home to try to sustain it against Mississippi Valley on Saturday night in Turpin Stadium. Sidney, first let's talk about that offensive arisal that after 2 games you guys were struggling. What was it like internally? Did you guys feel pressure? Were you frustrated? Was there some really tough times, or was it a quiet confidence? We can do this. We just need to find ourselves.
It was a quiet confidence. We just needed to find ourselves. We always knew that we had the talent to do anything we wanted to do. We just kept stopping ourselves with the penalties, offsides, personal fouls and things of that nature. So we always knew that we had the talent. We just had to show everybody else that we had it.
Okay. Was there a point in the game at Nevada, and you had one big play, a 42-yard reception that helped us, but was there a point in the game, first half, second half, where you said, we got this?
Yes, actually before halftime, we were up 13-10, and I said, man, if we go in at halftime up on these boys, like, they're going to be in for a dogfight. Unfortunately, they scored at the end, but we never wavered. We said, okay, we just have to put another one on the board, and we came back out there, and that's what we did. So we always thought that we were one touchdown away from breaking it wide open.
That, to me, may have been the most impressive thing, not the statistics and the production, was the comeback ability that the team showed. Every time Nevada threw a punch, y'all threw a punch back, and it was a whale of a game coming down the stretch. Talk about that competitiveness.
It's just something that everybody has to have on our team, and you can never lay down, because football is a game of momentum, and it switches ties at any given second. And all we needed was our defense to get one more stop, and we score and go for 2. It's an 8-point game, so we just have to get the ball back and score again. But it's going to help us in the long run, especially when it gets conference time, that we have that ability to keep fighting towards the end of the game when the other team, starts to break down a little bit.
Having been part of the unit that had one of the greatest offensive games in school history, we were within 40 yards of the total offense record, very close to first downs. Brad Henderson was right on the base of breaking Bobby Hebert's single game passing and total offense records. What does that say to you about the capabilities of the offense going forward?
The possibilities are limitless. We could do literally whatever we want to. We ran the ball good. Daniel Taylor, the freshman, he came in again and scored another touchdown. And it's just, we have so many weapons, and Lou had a big catch. Everybody was making plays, and that's just how it's supposed to be. We have the talent. If each person does what they're supposed to do, and everybody makes a big play, then the defense, there's no answer for us, because you have to pick your poison. Either you stop the pass, we're going to run it. You try to stop the run, we're going to air it out on you. So it's really nice to have that ability.
All right, you're turning the tables now and looking at a team that posted a shutout in its last game, beat Southern 6-0 last Thursday night. I don't know how much study you've been able to get in early this week on Mississippi Valley State, but obviously they've got a defense just hung a goose egg. Talk about that challenge.
It's a big challenge. Every game is a big game, because it's the next one. We have to treat them just like we would treat any other opponent. We're going to go in today and watch a lot of film, special teams, offense, defense, see who their key players are, what they like to do defensively. Do they like to bring pressures, and what situations they like to do it in. And we're going to treat it as if it's a regular game, and we're trying to get a goose egg on them and try to put up as many points as possible. So that's our goal for this week.
All right, kind of a unique situation. You graduated high school in Mississippi, but you're a Californian. You had a bunch of family at the game last week. Now we're playing a Mississippi team. If you look at the roster, you say a big game for Sidney Riley, but you've still got friends and guys you went to school with. Did you have any connection with Mississippi Delta or Mississippi Valley or any guys on that team, or this a little special for you as well?
Actually, I didn't. The only SWAC school from Mississippi that I really talked to was Jackson State, and we're not really playing. We haven't played them, but I never really talked to Mississippi Valley, but I knew a lot about them because that's where Jerry Rice went to school. And, you know, growing up in Mississippi, you always hear about the legends, Brett Favre, Jerry Rice, everybody of that nature. So it's to go up against another team from Mississippi, you know, I want to prove that. I look at the roster and say, oh, they have a guy from Mississippi. Let's see what he's going to do. So I want them to look at the roster and say, okay, you know, he's representing for the home state.
All right, we're with team captain Anthony Gilbert. Looking forward to Saturday, looking back at last week's game at Nevada and trying to assess where the team is right now after a very competitive game out west, heading into the last non-conference game. Anthony, talk about what that game emotionally meant for this football team, what progress was made during the game, and what you carry from it.
I think that game made us feel more confident that we can hang with even the biggest schools, and that we just feel good about ourselves. We can't bring that confidence down. We got to bring that to every week, every game, even in practice. We got to play like we got to practice like we play, and always come with it.
All right, defensively, you guys had a really strong first half until the last series, and then Nevada really kind of did some things that Nevada does. They are very, very, very good offensively. What things need to be cleaned up from the Nevada game going forward?
The things that need to be cleaned up is our gap assignments. Make sure that we stay in our gaps, we do what the coaches tell us to do, and just doing what we're supposed to do. That's all there is to be said.
All right, you go forward playing a Mississippi Valley team that just came off a big win on the road, so they won't have any trepidation about coming into Turpin Stadium. I know you haven't had the opportunity to look at them on film, but talk about the importance of this game for this football team.
The importance of the game is to just win. Just, like I said, bring the intensity from this past game to this week and do what we know best. That's all we can do, and that'll show up.
Okay, as a defensive player, you guys really had a lot of pressure on you the first 2 weeks because the offense was struggling. Now with the offensive performance at Nevada, talk about the mentality that you as a defense can carry forward, having seen what they can do.
I think we know that our offense can score and put the ball in the end zone. It's a relief that we don't have to just take it all on us. Just come out there, feed off the offense, us knowing that we know that they can just do whatever they want to whoever they want, and just come off of them.
Okay, you're the special teams captain this week, right?
No, he's defense.
Defense, okay. All right, I get all this mixed up. Jamal's special teams. Oh, well, let's scratch that. We're going to do a lot of editing on this one. Okay. Defensively, you've made some big plays in your career for the Demons. As you approach conference play, do you find that you're trying to raise your level of your game to its best ever, or are you just trying to do your job and let things happen and react as they go?
I'm never just trying to do my job. I want to do my job, but I also want to get better. Not every week, but every day. Every day in practice, I want to get better. Every day, even in when we don't have practice, we're in the weight room, I want to get better. No matter what, just get better, and that'll show up on the field.